And what's the proper way to carry apples? Of course, in your dress. Yes, y'all, that's my dress. I'm carrying the apples in my house, into the house with my dress. Some leftover frozen strawberries in the pan. Some peaches in dire need of attention. Peaches in the pot. And yes, you do see skins. I did not skin those peaches. No reason to. And a bunch of apples. Granny Smith, should I worry that I found a sprouted seed in one of my apples? Should I worry that I found another one with a sprouted seed? Oh well, I'm going to keep going. I'm hurrying, but my apples are turning brown, so I guess I got to hurry some more. Okay, my apples are now nice and tender. So, I've already got my peaches and my strawberries waiting here for the apples to be done. So now I'm going to add half of this, thereabouts, to this. So here we go, y'all. This is about half and half. I've got so much I'm going to have to make 2 batches anyway. So this is about half and half. I need to cook this, make it nice and hot, so it'll be ready to put in the jars. Now, y'all, I think this is a little thick. So I'm going to add some water. Yeah, that's good. And I'll bring you back in about 5 minutes when this is good and hot again, and I'll show you how I do my jars. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good. Oh gosh, yeah. Okay, here's what I'm using, y'all, for a recipe. It is the National Center for Home Food Preservation. It's USDA Bulletin number 539. There will be a link down in the description. This is for fruit puree. And because I am doing peaches, I'm doing strawberries and I'm doing apples, but peaches take 25 minutes. Now I'm doing pints and half pints. So I have to use the longest time period, which is the 25 minutes because of the peaches. So here we go. Here's my first 3 jars set up, ready to fill. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of commercial lemon juice to each jar. Now that lemon juice is not called for in the recipe. We like it for tang. And remember, I'm not using fruit fresh, I'm not using pectin, I'm not using sugar, I'm not using sweetener, I'm using just fruit. This fruit will not be pretty, but it sure will taste good to us. So now I'm going to fill each jar to 1/4 inch headspace. Now I'm going to wipe the rim of each jar to make sure it's clean. I'm going to add a lid to each jar. I'm going to add a ring to each jar, and I'm going to finger tight. Put the lid on finger tight. Now I'm going to put these 3 jars back into the canner and get the next 3 jars out. Here's my next 3 jars, and I'm going to keep doing this until my canner is full. Well, this pot wasn't big enough to hold that much, so I've got this much left, which is okay because remember I said I was going to have to do more than 1 batch. So in the canner, just a second. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I left the empty jars in there because that'll keep these jars from tipping over. Yeah, I may have to do 3 loads. So we'll see. This is not a boil. This is air being released from in and around the jars. The 1/4 inch headspace, why that's needed. This is not a boil. And we have achieved a full rolling boil. So 25 minutes at a full rolling boil. 25 minutes are up. Turn off the heat. Take off the lid. Let the canner set for 5 minutes. 5 minutes are up. So I can now take the jars out of the canner. So there we go, y'all. There's the first 6. I'm going to continue doing this until all my apples and all my strawberries and peaches are gone. And I will bring you back tomorrow morning. Now remember, you do not go by when the jar goes pop. That's not the true tale if it is sealed or not. The true tale is tomorrow morning after these have set. Well, more than tomorrow morning. It'll be tomorrow night. After these have set for 24 hours is when you need to check the lids then. So we'll be back when I do that. Y'all, here's a little hint when you're doing more than one batch. You cannot do the second batch. Now this, I'm talking water bath canning. You cannot do the second batch immediately in the same hot pot because, sorry, got a little close. Because that water in the canner has to come down to a certain temperature. If I used it directly now with the water as hot as it was boiling 10 minutes ago, then that water is going to be too hot, is going to come back up to a boil too fast for the temperature inside the jars to be the proper temperature. So when you're doing more than one batch in a water bath canner, you have to let your water in your canner cool off some before you start the canning process the second time. And that gives the contents of the jar, inside the jar, time to come up to temp with that boiling water. All those peelings from the apples, apple seeds and stuff, I did not peel my apples. All the seeds and pieces I cut out of the apples, the cores. Let's plant them. See what happens. It's supposed to rain in the next couple of days, so I'm just going to plant it here. And we will see. If it grows, it grows. If it doesn't, well, I just fertilized my grass. So here we go, y'all. I got 22 pints and half pints. Now, my next step is to take the rings off the jars. See, and they come off really easy. Take the rings off the jars and inspect each jar for sealing. Look at there. That's the first one. That didn't seal. That didn't seal. Huh. Just a minute. Okay, y'all. If you remember my video where the... just a second, let me turn on the light. Okay, y'all. If you remember my video, I made a... with the whatever, and I had to throw away a whole batch. I know it's not my food now. I have checked these others, and they're all okay. But these two, and I don't feel anything on the jar. I did have one jar that when I was wiping the rim, I felt a little flea bite. So I just threw the whole thing away because I didn't know if I got it when I put the stuff in the jar, or if when I was wiping off the rim, I couldn't tell, and of course I wasn't going to take any chances, so I just threw it away. But these two did not seal. Huh. Well, I'm making an executive decision here, and I'm going to throw the jar and contents all away. So, but now these others, see, that's why you don't go by the pop. You go by the divot. So let me check, let me take the rings. That was the first two I took the rings off of. Let me take the rings off the others and check those. Okay, so these two jars failed. Now this one doesn't look, this one looks right, and this one, I don't know, looks kind of funny, but looks dark. But now let me tell you something, y'all. Watch my video and you can see that I did everything I was supposed to do. So I believe it is the lids. I do believe this particular batch of lids. I can't think of nothing else. All the other ones, I had one wide mouth here. And as you can see, that's a ball lid. I'm not using funky lids. Now, like I said, I found a flea bite on that one when I was wiping it off to put the lid on. I don't feel any flea bites on these. So, now I do have a couple of sticky ones, which I'm going to wash them off. Then I'm going to write on the lid fruit and the month and the year. And I think, y'all, I'm going to throw the jars away too this time. I kept the jars last time. I'm going to throw the jars away this time. I don't see a crack or nothing, but it's just not worth it if something is wrong. I don't know. Don't know, folks. So, I'm still going to call this batch a success. We already ate some of it. Okay, I don't know where I left off at. My battery just went dead. Okay, I'm still going to call this a success. What I'm going to do now is wash off the jars. I'm going to label the top. It says fruit, month and day. And I'm going to put those two and just put them in the trash. I don't feel anything. But maybe my fingers are too rough. So, thank you for watching. Now remember, this is no sugar, no sweetener of any kind. This is apples, peaches, and strawberries. Thanks for watching, guys. And comment down on go in the comment section and tell me what you think happened. You can look back at my other videos where I had a whole batch I threw away. I'm not throwing away this batch. All the other ones are nice and sealed. So, thanks for watching, guys. Bye. If y'all will remember, or if you go back and look at my failure video, it was one of these little jars that failed.